Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Season 4, Episode 16, Last Night in Soho. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. I'm your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Raph. They're bad apples. Ramirez. Raph, how are you doing this afternoon?
Fantastic, sir.
Late night, I guess I should say, because I didn't start till late. Next, we got Jay. Did they spell your surname wrong or something? McClintock. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing well, man.
Hell yeah. Next, we got Lindsay. I don't do nighttime laundry. Hail, Lindsay, how are you?
All right.
Right on. Next, we got Miles. She's a lot fucking weird. Francis, Miles, how are you?
I'm good, dude. This podcast is making me feel like I have my life more together than I realized.
No doubt, dude. No doubt. And finally, we got David. Oh, I could never sell it. Too many memories. Jessup, David, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Fuck yeah, guys, we watched Last Night in Solo, release date October 29th, 2021 in the United Kingdom. Running time 160
Oh, is that what we watched, Duck? Is that what we watched?
What did I say? Last Night in Soho? Did I say it right?
Oh no, you said it right. My mistake.
Yeah, okay. I've been calling it something
Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. The Curse of Humpty Dumpty.
Oh my god, did you guys watch Humpty Dumpty instead?
No,
I
Miles
did.
Oh no, you're in so much trouble.
That's actually Lindsay's dad's choice.
I've actually watched both for what it's worth, but I did watch Humpty Dumpty.
Well,
but
we're going to
it was
discuss
worth-
Humpty Dumpty here in a second.
the end
it wasn't worth discussing. I think we can move past it.
All right, fair enough. Running time 116 minutes, budget 43 million, box office 23 million. What? Only made back
Ouch.
half of its budget. All right,
Ouch.
synopsis. An aspiring fashion designer is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters a dazzling wannabe singer. But the glamour is not all it appears to be, and the dreams of the past start to crack and splinter into something darker. Let's check out this trailer, which probably is going to be stuck in my head all freaking day, like Downtown has been.
Downtown.
Oh, all day long.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah,
man.
honestly, it's
Such a
just,
good
I like. You know what? This movie was good enough that I have already gone through the process of hating and forgiving David for the.
Yeah. Right?
Nice.
I'm studying London College of Fashion.
Room is on the top floor.
It's perfect. I love it. If I could live any place and any time, I'd live here in London in the 60s.
Such a cool shot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of epic shots in this movie.
Yes, it was.
Thunderball.
Last night, I saw something in my dreams.
Awesomeness.
She sounded like
Two-way
that.
mirror.
My favorite thing was all the stuff with like them dancing and changing places and like the mirror like
Oh,
reflection
Edgar.
stuff. Like that was all
right
good
there.
shit right there.
And you are?
Sandy.
Right there, yeah, it's so cool. All right, that's enough of the trailer. I think we get the point. She goes into a
You-
dreamland. It's pretty awesome.
You could have played it all. It was great.
History of with the movie. Has anyone seen this other than David and Lindsay? Okay, that's good enough. David and Lindsay, what did you see this movie first?
So when this first came out, I was really stoked to see it because I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan and I'm a huge Anya Taylor-Joy fan
Yeah, she
as
kills
well. But when it came out, I got really tepid reviews. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. And so I just kind of put it on the didn't even just think about it. And then one night, it was Friday night. It was one of the few weekends, the few Fridays, Lindsay and I, neither of us had a show. And so we're just chilling at home. And I was like, hey, this is on HBO. You want to watch it? And we sat down, zero expectations. And we got done watching it. And we both looked at each other and we're like, that was one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I don't know if it's because the expectations were low or what, but I think going into it, not expecting anything and not knowing anything about it was huge. Because you first start watching it and I'm like, why am I watching a fashion girl? What the hell is going on? And then you're like, okay, now she's back in time. Oh, this is fantastic. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no. When they go through the back club area and you start seeing all the dancers doing heroin and giving blowjobs, and you're like, oh no, this is bad. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then it had one of the best twists ever. I didn't see it coming. I absolutely loved the twist at the end. And so yeah, we just loved it.
Lindsay, you agree with that? Or
Yes.
you want to go completely against him? Like, I hated it. I don't know what he's talking about.
No, we both, I'm pretty sure we both looked at each other like, afterwards, like, we were like, whoa. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it.
Right on. Anyone else seen it before? You guys said no?
I hadn't seen it, but I had known of it for quite a while, and it was actually on my list of movies that I had planned to watch on acid coming up. And
it's a long list.
Yeah, it is. It's growing every day. But this was, and I stand by the fact that I think that a lot of the shots and a lot of the like just transitions would have been really fun. But admittedly, some of the subject matter it got into, I think, would have been very uncomfortable. So there's pros and cons of this coming up earlier than my plans did.
Yeah. It's definitely a trippy movie, and
I do want to point out though, because I did watch both movies, and David, I don't know if you realized how like in many ways these are very similar films. Like they're both like they take place in the UK. They heavily deal with the concept of like mental illness running in the family, and then some like trippy shit happens where people die. So
almost the same thing.
You basically made me watch the same film twice. Is what I'm getting at. Yeah,
one's really bad and one's really good.
Yeah,
maybe Edgar Wright saw Humpty Dumpty, the Curse of Humpty Dumpty, and he went, I got
if it weren't for the shitty little person in a really crappy Halloween costume, this would be a pretty cool concept. We should do this in the 60s.
Enjoying this episode? Go check out Geekster, a dating and friends app for geeks that focuses on common interests as a way to make meaningful connections. Download today on the App Store or click the link in the description to find out more. Geekster, this is what happens when nerds collide. Geekster, available on iOS and Android.
All right, let's get into discussing it. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. This movie's a head trip of a movie. Good, Raph.
So yeah, we probably want to start with that creepy cab driver, because it gives you the feel that it's gonna be a hostile kind of movie.
Yeah.
And I was not ready for that. I'm like, damn, that girl's too pretty. It's gonna get really bad. And like 26 minutes into the movie, I fell in love with it. With the shots, the fucking storyline was going great. I was
the
like,
soundtrack, dude. How about the soundtrack?
Soundtrack is fantastic. Dude, Raph, to your point too, like they kind of set that tone with that cab driver early. Like the whole movie really does lean into the concept of like sexual assault, like really
Very
heavy
much so.
in some very, very uncomfortable ways in a lot of scenes. And I also really appreciate that the first guy, the friend that she ends up kind of like going to the dance with and whatnot, he offers to help her like when her luggage is struggling, and he ends up being like truly a good dude throughout. Like he's actually there the entire time and was like arguably the only person in the movie that didn't have some sort of evil intent against her.
Yeah.
well, that's that twist too, because you think she's gonna be the one that gets taken, and it ends up being a fucking such an incredible twist where it turns out that it's where she's staying at, and she's reliving that girl's life, which blew my mind.
That girl is right fucking there.
She's still not dead. That's what blew my mind.
So good. It was
but all the bodies that are she's seeing are because they're in the walls and the floorboards of her home. Yeah.
And all of that stuff, if you pay attention, is set up in the beginning when she goes to that place, because the old lady is saying, you know, about the smell and about all of this other stuff. So I was like, there's dead bodies. Like, so like even
someone
with
listens
that,
to true crime.
yeah, even that with that in the back of my brain, I still didn't get the twist until like right before I said it out loud to Dave because we actually thought that she was going to be somebody different. Oh no, Dave, you had guessed that the guy was.
Yeah, I thought the cop, the guy that worked Vice, I thought he was the pimp. I thought that was a pimp. And then once the old lady sat her down for tea, I was like, oh no, she's involved. But I didn't know it was Anya Taylor. I didn't know it was her.
The misdirection was fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing. The fact that the camera looks up the stairs where the danger is supposedly, and she calls over to the room just like, oh, there's going to be a little scene where they talk. It's nothing. And then the entire exposition dump happens. And you're like, holy shit. And then you got to get up the stairs for a completely different reason, I guess. I'm not 100% sure why she had to get up the stairs, because I guess that's where the only phone was, but it was bizarre.
But where the killer with the knife wasn't, I think.
You're right, I think. Does dead bodies smell like garlic? I was just
they do if you prepare them right. Yeah, they do if you prepare them right.
David, you were very shy about that. I don't know.
Or didn't she say that there was garlic to cover up the nasty smell?
There was like maybe a bistro or something, so maybe she was garlicking up the place.
But did you guys, I mean, cut you off, Ducky,
no, you're
before
fine.
I forget. Did you guys notice when the little girl was going through the microfilm of all the people that had been murdered? It was all guys.
I didn't put it together until after the fact. But as soon as we got the reveal, I was just like, oh, that's why, us what it was happening.
I'm watching the microfilm and I'm like, there's no missing women here. That's really, and it was like father of two. And it was all guys. And you actually, some of them had pictures that you then saw later. You saw their faces.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I haven't heard from one person here. Jay.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, Jay. He was busy doing stuff. It's no big.
He's basically like, if it's not popcorn, I'm not going to talk about it.
No, it's cool.
If it's about popcorn, he'll fuck you up. That's all you need to know.
No, I literally just got hot off the presses watching it. I really enjoyed it. Edgar Wright, man, he doesn't really screw up to me. So, like, this is another one of his, you know, I just feel like as a director, he's just, he constantly, like, improves. Like, I think almost every movie becomes a little bit better than the one before it. And, yeah, I didn't know who Thomasin McKenzie was before this movie, but I definitely was familiar with Anya Taylor-Joy. I liked it. It kind of had, like, a little bit of, like, a little single white female vibe a little bit, but like over the span of like, you know, 50 or 60 years, I liked how they kind of overlapped each other. And then eventually it was bleeding into one reality. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought the ghost of Anya Taylor-Joy, when I thought she was a ghost, was going to consume her and take over her life. So that third act twist, I don't know if I'm 100% behind still. It makes more sense as I get further away from the movie. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
A little. This movie reminded me a lot of Perfect Blue, if you think about it, in the way that, you know, there's kind of like these multiple personalities. And you got to kind of see where it's going and all the violence and everything.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand how the haunting works because
so I started thinking that it was the Sixth Sense. I was like, oh, that bitch is dead. Because then she starts seeing those ghosts and then they start actually grabbing at her. And I'm like, oh, fuck, she must be dead. But then it turns out, again, that fucking twist was amazing. I don't see how you have a problem with it.
Well, I think the haunting is the ghosts are actually begging for her.
They were asking for help.
Asking for help. That's what it is.
And she's a medium.
Yeah.
And why would
her mom was a medium as well, and it drove her mom to commit suicide.
Why would they submit the ghost, like give her a false vision of Anya Taylor-Joy being killed then? That's the part I don't understand.
I think what happened, Duck, was I think the McKenzie girl, once she saw the blood, she pulled out of it. She got freaked out. I think if she would have let the vision continue, she would have seen that it was Anya Taylor-Joy doing the killing.
Do you think she was drugged by the blue drink?
So that's another thing. When she had sleep deprivation or was drugged, the two would mix. So you would see the ghost coming while she was still awake, but it was because she was either falling asleep or she would fall asleep. Like when the black guy was on top of her, she started falling asleep and she started hallucinating and screaming. Her hallucinations started becoming real.
Which isn't a great review of his game, but that's a whole different conversation.
That's I was a little bit confused by that. It worked in the entirety of the movie, but still it's a little bit muddled for me. And that was the only thing that kept me kind of out of it. I was like, the twist doesn't really work, but I'm happy everyone else it worked for. I was just like, I thought that she was talking to the ghost, the old ghost of Sadie, and I was like, okay, I guess this is where we're going with the movie. I didn't really know where to expect it. So it did go somewhere that I did not expect at all, which I guess is great.
But I kind of am with you to some extent, and also just it bothers me that it seems like there's a trend almost where it's like these movies will just like be like, oh, there's this magical power, but you just accept it. We're never going to actually talk about it or accept
we're not going to have rules. We're not going to have a reason why. It just
exists. Deal with it. Here's our movie now. Yeah.
Well, her mother being a medium is a good backstory. Like her mother couldn't handle it, seeing visions as well.
Same thing as in Black Phone.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but I understand what you're talking about.
I hated it in Black Phone.
You loved it in this movie, but you hated it in Black Phone.
Hated it so much.
Oh my god! What's up,
I think if we go back to the Black Phone podcast, I had the exact same complaint. So I guess I have a type. I don't know. Type of thing I hate about a movie.
The use of lighting in this movie is also great with the red and the blue, and then there's that epic shot of her turning over in her sleep and it moving backwards throughout the sheet. Yeah, which works because it's fabric and she works with fabric, and she never really, there's no build up to like the haunting or the inception of her. It just begins automatically. I thought that was pretty cool that the second she tries to fall asleep in that room, she starts having these visions. And I love the fact that she is so enamored by the character of Sadie that she literally dyes her hair, she buys the clothing, she wants to be more like her. And it kind of like that's kind of a red herring too, because you're like, oh, she's getting consumed by this entity, this being from the past. And I guess in some ways she was, but what was the point of that? They wanted.
So if you're a medium, you're if you're staying where there's a bunch of dead bodies, I'm sure the energy is going to be stronger, and that's why she started seeing it immediately. As soon as she started playing the records and falling asleep, she started seeing it, and also it started happening where she had the hickey. She woke up the next day. So even though
they had like Nightmare on Elm Street vibes to some extent, where it's like you wake up from the dream and you still have the burn mark on your hand or whatever.
Yeah, and the use of in the film, the double mirrors, all that stuff, the practical effects in this are so cool. And that dance scene is actually choreographed that they were both in it. There were only 2 shots that were aided by CGI where they threw in the character.
The dance scene is my favorite scene in the entire movie, and that was just so cool the way it kept transitioning back and forth.
Yeah, and the use of the double mirrors throughout the whole thing, like whenever Sadie's getting depressed and after man, it comes to her and what's the word? Like tries to
what's your name? What's your name?
Yeah, the what's your name scene. And then you see the main character in the background, the mirror, just looking depressed and sad the same way as Sadie. Like this is taking a toll on her. And I felt like the toll. Like I watched the first hour and a half of the movie, and then I had to go to work, and I was so bummed out and nerve-wracked because I was like the tension, the thriller tension of the movie would build up in me, and I was like, oh my God, like what is gonna happen? And that was right before the big reveal that she's still alive. I was just like, holy crap. Like,
but what's the weird thing about this movie too is she's the bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the bad guy, but it had a hard time rooting against her,
right?
That's what was so weird. I'm like, you killed a lot of people, but they kind of deserved it.
I think that's the
anti-hero.
Yeah. And actually, the casting of Anna Taylor-Joy was because of that. She had been playing the final girl in so many movies. She was in Split and The Witch and different things like that, where she was kind of the victim in those movies. So Edgar Wright saw her and he was like, I want her to be the femme fatale. I want her to play the bad character in this movie. And she absolutely rocks it. I think she's going to win an Oscar, hands down. She's an amazing actress. She just kills it all over. She's beautiful. Like, you can't keep your eyes off her. She's absolutely gorgeous.
Have you heard her sing Downtown?
Yeah, in the movies. Yeah, dude, that was her.
No, there's she has a music video though. Also,
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah,
she's really good.
And like, I've had Downtown stuck in my head all fucking day. I can't get Downtown out of my head.
It's a really good earwig to have. Like, Downtown, it's just so gentle.
And it makes me think of Arrested Development, so that's always a positive in my mind.
But she kills it. But I got to give it up to the lead actress. I don't know her name, but wow,
Mackenzie
Thomason.
Yeah,
Thomas.
she is so
That's such
good.
That's such a cool first name, Thomason.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met another Thomason in my life.
You're
That's
a
just-
Thomason?
She was in that
No,
Hitler
but-
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the rabbit one.
That's actually was going to be my
Jojo
one
Rabbit.
of my recommendations tonight was Jojo
Nice.
Rabbit. In that movie, she plays a Jewish girl that like lives underneath the floor and the walls or whatever of a house that's protecting her, and she's incredible in it.
Yeah, she was killer in this. She goes in range of being that little field mouse, country bumpkin, to really embracing the city life, and then to the insanity of like losing her mind. Like, you feel it every time she's on screen, and it's not all over the place. It's consistent.
Well, when she goes to that glow up where she goes and transitions into like she puts her like blonde hairstyle and she's like mimicking Sandy essentially. Like you feel like a shift in her as a character whenever that occurs in a big way, which is impressive because I think there's a lot of times like something like that'll happen in a show or a movie and it's just like, well, they just have a wig on or a different hairstyle, but like she felt like an entirely different person moving forward from that point in the movie.
Kind of like Olivia Newton-John in Grease at the end.
Good pull.
Out of this world.
Speaking of wigs, though.
Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am.
No, like there were a couple times where I was like, girl, pull your wig back down. Like towards the end, it was like slid back. Anyways, I probably just noticed that because of theater stuff. But
did you guys notice that the Halloween party, the 4 girls dressed up like The Craft?
The Craft, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that.
dude,
Yeah,
I love
it was
that
pretty
movie.
cool.
Yeah, it was a real quick shot, but it was the 4 girls with the mean girl leading them, and they were all dressed up like The Craft. And I was like,
Dude, it's
I
funny you
bet
said
that
Mean Girls. I literally said at one point in this movie, I'm like, this is just like UK Mean Girls is what this is going to be for a minute. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they did a wonderful job of acting the mean girl too, because everyone's got that one friend they know is just talking major shit behind their back. You know, what I mean?
Feel that heartbreak in the toilet scene where she's like put her feet up in the stall and like their friends are just or friends or whatever.
Well, they're friends
talking
technically,
shit.
So
well, you know what I mean though. They're not great. They're not great friends, bro.
No, not good friends.
Talking about cutting her
When
wrist.
I talk shit about all of you behind your back, it's not nearly that mean.
That's what I'm saying.
Very nice.
But then-
Thank you.
but then she almost got her when she almost stabbed her in the library when she was like out of it.
Also, to be fair, in her reaction on that, like he's like, it's okay, and she's like, it is not fucking okay. I'm like, girl, like,
No, it's not.
you've been kind of a bitch, but like ultimately you did just about get stabbed in the face. I understand why you're upset about this.
And I like that one little moment where she's like, fuck it, I'm going for it. And I'm sitting there going, don't do it. Because they've set up that like the ghosts and real people are kind of combined in the different set. I'm like, I got freaked out. I was like, she's going to stab somebody for real and this movie's over and fuck.
Yeah.
And then whenever he stops her from doing it, I thought that was so epic. I was like, right on. That's so cool. But yeah, I mean, this movie had so many little moments where it was red herrings, where you thought it was going to go one way and it went the other, and like, but they were little things like that, where like I got nervous and my heart was pumping. It was suspense in a way that I haven't experienced before. Go ahead, Jay. What do you think?
I have one like kind of, you could call it epic problem with the movie, is that like how many guys did she kill? Like I think she'd have a rep.
100.
I think she would have a small little reputation. Like, but I mean, if it's that good, I mean, I don't know.
The
Like,
cop,
She has 2 really, really strong reputations, Jay.
Yeah.
and the cop was involved too, so she got
the
away
cop
with it.
knew it because the cop said
Yeah.
at the end of like, wherever she is, I hope she's rotting in hell. So I think he knew that she was the person that killed all these people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say he did.
I think he was an accomplice, but when he
Oh
died,
shit!
they should have arrested what's her name? Eloise.
Holy hell! Raph broke the code again. Wait, he was an accomplice? All right. First of all, he says he doesn't know where she is, where the hell she is, I hope. But like, holy shit, that makes it even better. Go ahead, Lindsay. What are you thinking?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say because he was the one originally who told her that she was better and than what she was doing and that she needed to get out. And so, I mean, it makes sense that like he was on her side even though she was doing bad things and killing the guys because he knew they were bad people and trying to take advantage of her. And so, I mean, like, yeah, he can't really like get too mad at her for killing these people who are drugging and, having sex with these women against their will.
But Raph, you think that he was the accomplice to the whole thing. He was.
Yeah, that's why he got when she started questioning him, you could see he started getting upset and he's like, I'll go for this. And when he ran up, she was running after him. I feel like he stepped in the middle of the road to get hit. I was like, bro, I'm done with this.
Man,
and
you
then
just took it to a different level.
Like he committed suicide by car.
He just wanted to end that conversation with a female.
And if now that you say it that way, now that kind of gives me like let the right one in vibes. Just like when her handler like kills himself.
Yeah.
I was like, and now you've uncovered another layer, Ref.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You could probably have this whole backstory, this whole prequel of the relationship between the two of them, where he fell in love with her, but she never, was never in love with him, but used him to help her kill the people.
Damn.
Yeah, he tried to say that's perfect. That's perfect.
Oh man, that's crazy. I don't know if that's what happened, but I like the theory about it. I think the movie doesn't say it. The movie doesn't say it plainly. It probably isn't what it is, but I still like.
But he was definitely upset about that girl questioning him. He definitely was acting like he had something to hide.
And he knew. Yeah. He knew.
Why would he? You know what? Now that you're saying that, he had to have been. But the only thing that makes me think he wasn't was the fact that he says, "Wherever she is now, I hope she's in her own personal hell," or whatever he says. And he says,
"That almost sounds like a jilted lover, doesn't it? That sounds like a jilted lover."
Oh,
he was like,
"Damn." Then broke the code, man.
Dude, and seriously, like, do you like have like some special goggles you put on when you?
It's
watch
called
movies?
weed,
like,
Miles. It's just,
dude, it's not because I'm on that. I assure you.
Look at him smoke. It's that specialty pipe he's got with the looks like.
Yeah,
a pipe.
honestly.
Look, it looks like he's got Windex on the end of that bad boy.
It's probably the Windex, frankly. I think that would explain a lot.
Yeah, there it is. Rap's going to take it to another level in a second. He's going to be like, and also, did you think about? I like the design of the ghosts quite a bit. They weren't scary at first. At first, I was like, these are just stupid looking. And then whenever they started getting faces here and there, or having like the mirroring of the mouth and stuff like that, I was like, "Ooh, this works pretty well. This is kind of creepy." And then when they talked, I was like, "Oh shit!"
It is pretty cool that like Halloween Horror Nights already has this scare zone. It's just every unlit bar without a bouncer. Like they're yeah.
Oh,
it's good because what you think these ghosts are after her because they're like these pervy guys. These pervy.
That's what you think the whole time.
That's what you think, yeah.
Especially with the cab driver setting it up early with like, oh, you got the legs to be a model of.
Well, the grandmother sets it up. She's like, she doesn't say explicitly, but she's like, you can't trust anybody. It's a dangerous place to be, And then have them become victims out of nowhere when they're just like, help us, kill her. Like you're like, holy shit, they've been stuck here and they're the ones giving her the visions,
Yep.
I'm not sure why though, because she ended up empathizing with the murderer in the end. So why would they give visions of empathy?
I think they needed her to be killed so they could be released.
I think so too.
That they were stuck in that house as long as she was alive.
Yeah. And I mean the house is burning down by that point, so they're gonna get free.
So they're released.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Also, the ending. Do you think she survived? Because I don't think she survived. I think
she didn't survive. No,
I think she died.
And that was a ghost she saw in the mirror because she saw a ghost of her mom in the mirror too. And so that was a ghost.
Oh,
of
I'm
Anya
talking
Taylor
about
Joyce.
the main girl. I don't think the main girl survived. I think she died in the end.
Oh
No.
Do you
no,
think
she
that the whole
survived.
fashion show is like her just like heaven?
Yeah,
No.
having like a vision of heaven, I think is what it is.
No.
I disagree entirely.
I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
they made some comment like I'm glad you made it, or like you're still here, or something like
Yeah.
that.
But
John
that's what
came
the
up.
dream person would want to say to make you think that it was real.
Freddy
Lindsay.
Krueger.
Now Miles is on Ducky's side.
Oh my God! It's just like how I'm always like, "Am I dead?" And people are like, "No, you're not."
was
And then
dead
I
the
think
whole
I
time.
am.
But like, the one thing you got to say about Edgar Wright is he's kind of a sucker for a happy ending. He always kind of is. Shaun of the Dead, the Baby Driver. Like at the end, Edgar Wright still gives the audience a little bit of the warm fuzzies. So I think she lived. I think that was, at least I think that was his intention.
And I tell you what, man, this movie, this was probably his darkest movie.
Wait, did he
Because-
do? I was just about to ask. Did he do Sucker Punch? Am I remembering that right?
No,
that was Zach Penn, I think.
Zach.
Okay, never mind then.
Batman Zach.
My bad.
Batman Zach. I like that name. All right. Well, anything else about the movie? Raph, you got a list?
Yeah, my favorite line has to be when she's sitting down and talking to her, and she says, "This is London. Someone has died in every room, every house, and every street corner." That was fucking I got chills when she said that. But
yeah, it was pretty badass.
Yeah, no, going down my list, we pretty much went down everything. I love the shots. The cinematic shots were amazing. The long shots, the slow shots, the shots through the window. My favorite scene has to be when they're sitting there and the cop is talking to her and she's telling her, just look at yourself. And Eloise starts smashing the window and she flies through it. I love that.
That was
scene.
cool.
That
was really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my question is this: we all watched it. It sounds like we all really, really, really enjoyed it. Why did this movie fail so badly?
It was released in London.
Dude. Pandemic.
Yeah, it was still at the time. Like, was it last fall? I guess. Yeah,
They released it. They should have held on to it. They released it too.
Way too risky, man.
Well, they waited 2 years, and the thing is, these studios got to start pumping out something to make back revenue in some way. Even if it's a failure, they can write it as a tax write-off. So they had to get it out there, and they waited, like I said, 2 years. That was like you see it with every major studio. They try and they try and they try, and there were like hits and misses, but this was just a miss, is all there was to it. And it should have been a bigger hit, especially after Baby Driver was so well received by like
everything about it was good.
Yeah.
Like there isn't any big enough of a drawback. Even all of our like biggest complaints don't lead to this not being a very enjoyable movie.
And I think this was one of those 45-day situation for Warner Brothers, HBO Max, where they released it in theaters, gave it a 45-day run, and then it came out in HBO Max. So they wrote down a ton of movies for HBO Max just to get people to go to the subscription. And now it's going bye-bye.
To be fair, that worked to some extent, at least for me, because I know there were several movies that I thought about seeing in theaters that I'm like, you know what, that one I can wait for HBO, and it's not that long.
The only one I couldn't wait was the Suicide Squad. Me and Jay and Eric B went to see that, and it was badass.
See, I had really low expectations for that, but I watched it when it dropped day one on Max, and I was like blown away by how great it was. That might be that's a strong one. That's definitely a contender in like the top tier DC movies ever made.
And I think when you look at this movie and you look at Edgar Wright's like progression as a filmmaker, this movie uses everything up until this point, especially because Baby Driver was so music heavy. This one's the same way. The music influences the movie completely. It encapsulates it.
Well, it's like the records is it seems almost as what that's what draws her into those dream states essentially.
Yeah. Being part of it almost connects her to that time double wise. You know what I mean? And I thought that was really cool. But I can't imagine like the songs. I was sitting there thinking, like, would this movie work with different song selections in this part or this part or this part? I think it's perfect the way it uses them, and in a lot of ways it is a perfect movie, but I've got issues with it. So, but god damn it was good. It was good. Raph, you didn't have anything else?
No, I got too much shit to mention, but no, I just gotta say this is by far one of the best films I've ever seen. It's got to become a cult classic. I enjoyed it from the moment I started watching it to the end.
Right on.
I'm so,
Was
I'm
anyone
so
else?
glad. I'm so glad you guys liked it because, like I said, it was something that I did not expect at all, and I didn't know if it was low expectations or what. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it because it's one of those movies. Like when I got done watching it, I wanted to share it with my friends
Yeah.
because it felt like nobody had really seen it, and it was such a shame because the performances are great, the music is great. Oh, and what about what's his face, y'all? We didn't even mention
Matt Smith.
Yeah, the
No.
guy who plays Jack.
We got Matt
Yeah.
Smith, and then we've got Terrence Stamp in it.
Terrence
Yeah,
Stamp.
Zod.
Damn, bro. The old man.
From
We
the
got
80s.
Zod.
Yes,
Zod.
Zod, dude. He was so good. So
Yeah.
good.
I always think of Terrence Stamp as the politician from episode 1. I don't know why.
I think of him from Yes Man as the
Yes Man.
guru.
Oh, I know
Zod,
that.
all the way, man. Superman
It's
2.
definitely
That's
Zod.
I think of him as Stick from Elektra.
Oh, no. Never saw that. That's horrible.
no.
Yeah, but no, he was really, really good in this. And then Matt Smith was terrifying as Jack. He was.
He really was, and he did such a good job of like because he was so charming in the early states. Like even the younger, the designer girl, the one that was doing the dream, she was infatuated with him. Obviously, like Sandy was infatuated with him, and they did a good job of really portraying him as like a heartthrob. And then like you once you saw the little glimpse of his dark side, it immediately just became a tidal wave of how awful of a person he was.
So this movie, when I got done watching it, I wanted to rewatch it again because there's so many things about it. But one of the things that I mentioned to Lindsay that she didn't notice, do you guys remember the very beginning when she meets him and that creepy guy's hitting on her and he punches him? He punches him and they run off, right? And she's like, oh, my hero. Well, when they go and they're at the creepy club and all the guys are all there, that guy he hit is there with them and they're smiling and joking.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like
that
whole
was a
thing.
setup.
That
It
was
was
a
all a
setup.
setup, dude. It was
Yep.
all honeypot, man. It was all to
It was
entice
just to
her into
make
that
him
world.
look like the hero,
Yeah.
but that whole thing was set up
Well,
to make him look like a hero.
That makes so much sense too, because that even builds harder on the scene where he originally, like, she goes to the table and he's like, I want to take you home and have a private conversation, honey. Your boyfriend won't mind. And he's like, you don't mind, do you, Jack? And she looks at him like, Jack, you should fucking mind.
Yeah, you should.
And when he doesn't, like, you can kind of see that like betrayal. And
Yeah.
that makes it even more of a betrayal, just the fact that it was all a ruse to begin with.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's such a bummer whenever you see like the downside of like fame and fortune and whatever. You
The
kind of see
backstage.
that back. Yeah, especially because thank God it's not that way anymore. At least I hope it's not. But like, thank
Wow,
God.
how
that-
out of touch are you, bro?
yeah, I know.
Well,
It just bums me out because I don't want it to be that way. But like, I realize it's probably tit for tat is probably still part of the industry. and it
Another-
sucks.
I'm sorry. Another line that Sadie had that was great was being a whore is like being an actress.
Yeah.
And that was fuck, bro.
I clipped that because I thought that was such a good line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was great.
And like, and it's heartbreaking because you see this person has all these dreams and aspirations.
Oh, it's
Turned
devastating,
into-
man.
Yeah,
Dude, I like
exactly.
how Duck says that. Like, I have had to suck his dick several times on stage.
Well, and also it was really creepy too when she goes to the audition and she sings, and then the guy goes, well, she can sing, and you know that his next line it was in his head was, but can she fuck?
Yeah, it's so depressing. dude.
At least it was in my head.
Jesus Christ. All right, guys and gal. Anything else we want to talk about the movie? I think we've talked it out. It's pretty good. All right, let's go to recommend. Jay, do you recommend this bad boy?
Absolutely.
Right on. Right on. All right, Raph, do you recommend it?
Absolutely.
Ah, damn it. I thought you were going to wax poetic again. All right. Maz, do you recommend it?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit. Taking it to the next level. Lindsay, do you recommend it?
X to the yes.
Yes. Look at that puppy. Aw. And then, David, do you recommend it?
Yes, one of my favorite films of was it 2021 is when it came out?
2021 is when it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my favorite films.
It was awesome. Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast. All right. With that said, let's get to some clips of this bad boy. How do I share clips? Damn it. I really need an Ethan back. Oh, it's already sharing. That's why. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Ethan, come back. We miss you.
Just some dancing.
I've been listening to this soundtrack nonstop.
Are you sharing
Honestly,
it?
I'm probably gonna download this soundtrack on Spotify because it's like
it's so good.
It's solid, bro.
I think I'd want this on vinyl.
Oh yes.
Who doesn't dance around their house like that, though?
Naked.
Paper.
This was one of the first times that Mum and me went to London. Both to be there.
I won't let you guys down.
You never could.
I had to
What was
watch
that
this
old
with
lady
subtitles
in?
on. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't understand anything.
Back to the Future.
There's a lot of connections to James Bond. A lot of the people in this movie were in Bond movies at some point.
Oh, really? That's cool as shit, man.
And then they had the Thunderball poster at
Yeah.
one point, the Sean Connery one, yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, the lady who plays Sadie when she's older, she plays Alexandra. She was actually a Bond girl. So
What? That's fucking cool, dude.
creepy old man.
So what's in Charlotte Street then?
Student housing.
It's all girls in that building. If all you supermodels are going to be in Charlotte Street, you'll see plenty of me.
It's
don't
like
you
a
worry.
U-porn I've seen
You might have found
before.
your first stalker.
Get out of here.
Oh, you know what I
Oh, no, it's a couple more
said? She looks like a smaller, younger Abigail Breslin.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
soft.
Okay, yeah.
Got enough cash.
Oh, I'm sure we
dead
can sort
on.
something out, sweetheart. Plus, it's not good round here at night for young girls on their own.
I
So
want to go to the shop
creepy.
anyway.
Please yourself.
A hand.
And you want a hand?
Fine.
Again, I really do appreciate that this dude from the very beginning of the movie was just like, hey, I'm just here to help. I'm actually a good human
Yeah.
being.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool quality.
Yeah, the token black guy.
And then he doesn't even get his nut on, yo. Fucking gets interrupted by that old
Dude,
bitch.
honestly, at that point, if I were him, I would be like, all right, I want to help this girl, but we got to keep her.
Not that
distance."
much. No, she's freaking the
No.
fuck out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he really likes her, though. He's
We're
like,
gonna catch
he's
a
like, "What do you
charge
need?"
if we,
Yeah.
like keep going here. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
you
you
can
also-
see it in his face. He was really freaked out that she was.
Well, here's the thing. That's another clue for you, because the old lady could have been freaking out on him, but she didn't. But she knew it was happening.
I like how she
Very
says, if he comes back, I'll kill him. And like, you're like, oh shit, I kind of believe it. And then you find out, yeah, she would have
Oh no,
killed
she
him.
meant that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like she meant, like,
And she
I know
tried.
you're not gonna tell the cops. Like, I know you're not gonna tell the cops.
Yes.
What's that? Oh, hold on. We're muting him. All right. Talking shit.
You should have left it playing. I think that was the cop.
This scene made me feel legitimately bad.
Oh, that's such a cool angle. I didn't realize the vent angle. That is badass.
That's amazing. Yeah, you're right.
She comes to her first day, LCF, wearing clothes she fucking
It's like a supermodel doing coke in the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Shanky all day.
Granny shit.
What are you listening to?
Nothing now.
It's a great line.
That's her, dude.
You should go back
Nothing
to
now, you dick.
So this is the same address she gives Matt Smith's character. So it's right there as a
I saw
hint.
your advert for a room to rent.
Nope, I didn't see it.
Yes.
Chip.
I'd like to rent it. Do you know?
I know. I'm gonna watch this movie again.
No, but I can find it. Well, it's
I don't know, dude. I feel like you should have to watch the Revenge of Humpty Dumpty.
You've really
You have to-
sold it, Miles.
No, you have to watch. You have to watch this movie, but the audio is the Humpty Dumpty movie.
They
Garlic.
perfectly pair up, like the Wizard of Oz and the Dark Side of the Moon. It's just gotta
awesome.
sync them.
Hope you like garlic.
Yeah.
There's a French bistro next door.
Whoa, what happened?
I don't believe you.
What happened?
Soon you won't be able to smell anything else.
Yeah, like dead bodies or whatnot.
Great shot.
Like all those Johns I stabbed.
This is so cool looking.
I would say this is like the signature shot of the movie.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
If I were trying to put all
fellas,
of this movie in one frame, this is it.
That was when the batteries dropped.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. So the strip was so busy because this is in like Main Street, London, right? That they had to work around because it's open 24/7.
Oh,
that
wow.
they had to shut down the street and bring in all these cars, but like they had to work within the time frame of it. So this was really complicated.
Dude, if you see the girl immediately to the left of Sean Connery, we're gonna see another actress in the same pose here in just a moment.
Are we really?
That was a terrible blowjob joke. Sorry.
Oh, we are going to see that actually. Doubles.
They don't all hit Duck. Sorry,
Oh,
my bad,
damn
dude.
it.
You can
That's
clip
okay.
that if you want to.
No. It all stays in.
I'm just fucking with you.
I don't know.
I
she's
love these
so
mirror shots
beautiful.
so much.
Like
phenomenal.
Yeah.
The doe eyes is what I think it is. She looks like a Disney princess.
I love that's the ending too, where she does a little like finger tap to the
She
mirror.
did it at
That's
the
how
beginning too. I don't know if you noticed. She
shit,
hits
I didn't
the
notice
lamp.
that.
She hits the lamp at the beginning of the movie when she's dancing. She gives it a flick.
Because
So
she got OCD.
I wonder if that's not like her connection to.
Raph
like,
always
the
seeing
world.
the fucking movie through a unique lens. Dude. It's all an OCD illusion. That's everything.
The dance.
If I don't
Got
fuck
the
100
snake on.
guys, my head will explode. I don't know.
So is she just stealing the idea for the dress then?
This is the best scene in the movie for sure.
Is she
And
stealing
Raph,
the idea
yes.
for the dress? Yes.
Inspired.
Yeah.
It's all. She's just stealing 60 stuff.
She got
which
some
is
hitters on her too.
Oh my god, Raph.
Just saying.
Actual singing. This is really her singing.
This is Anna Joy?
Hmm?
Wow.
You can always go downtown when you've got troubles, all the noise and the hurry.
Matt Smith has got a
seems to
Franken face,
help, I
doesn't
know.
he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. Very aggressive. Very aggressive.
Trauma.
It's very Evil Dead thing too.
All right, so this is the
He gives
dark
me
side.
like Matt Dillon vibes.
He reminds me of the guy who played
angrier.
the guy who played Vigo in Ghostbusters 2. Just that.
Oh
that
yeah.
Oh
round.
yeah, totally.
Aggressive.
This is a great single shot.
Right
Oh,
there,
this also
that-
has like the running through the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah, I love how the camera switches to her perspective,
Crazy.
and like and then you see her run out of it. It's almost like she disassociated. I thought that was pretty cool. He's a cop.
What's your name?
I love the fact that she's in the background sulking.
I know, dude. That's so fucking cool.
So cool.
Alex.
And so like dejected.
What's your real name?
Here's what gave it away. The Terrence Stamp character didn't have the scar on his face because she scratches Matt Smith's character when he's killing him. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, there's no scar in his face. This can't be the killer.
Good
Like,
call,
yeah.
Duck.
Wow,
And
dude.
the whole time I was just like,
Detective Duck is on the case.
Wait, hey Doug, while you were thinking about that, I was thinking about why that girl was trying to go back into her dreams and bone a ghost. Like, what?
And Raph's like, but the ghost is really hot, so then I got it.
I want to see Duck and Roth on their own Ghost Hunter show. They're both breaking down the scenes and like the facts and everything. And Duck is like, "Listen, this can't be a ghost because of the wind." And Roth comes in, he's like,
Roth's just trying to
but
fuck
man,
the ghost, dude.
I'm pretty sure the ghost has a boner right now."
And then we smoke some more weed, and it looks like
Yeah.
then we catch that on camera. We're like,
I
oh,
would-
look, a cloud! It's a
I
ghost.
would watch
spectrum.
the shit out of that Ghost Hunter
Let's
show.
do it.
Hope was like, I'll kill you if you fuck another living being on this planet. So Raph is like, gotcha.
Oh, speaking of ghosts, So the masks were so tight, they were just little pinholes that they've had in the nostrils, just like when they do those plaster casts. That was it. That was the idea, is to make them faceless. You know what I mean? And so they were very uncomfortable for the actors to wear. The Craft, here's the shot.
Yes.
Dude, I missed this entirely, and that's fucking dope.
Oh, you're right.
Like, what's her name from Return to Oz? What is her name?
Veruza Balk.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's dressed up like her. This movie has a lot of shots and stuff
Have
like
we
that.
covered The Craft on this podcast?
No, but I would
No, we have not.
I would love
that
to.
should be
And
a
there's-
group suggestion.
And there's the remake with like the all male Craft that came out, and everyone forgets.
I haven't
about
seen
that.
that. One, to be
What are you
honest.
talking about?
You are referring to the 2006. Nope, you were referring to the 2006 classic, The Covenant, starring a young Sebastian Stan.
Is it a sequel, or is it even involved with the Craft at all?
I think it's literally no, it's I don't think it's connected at all, but it literally is just male Craft. That's really all it is.
Well, we should skip that one and just cover The Craft.
Yeah. No, double feature, man. We're doing double. No. All right, murder, I guess.
Hey, but
it really sucks that she has like these visions that are like 80-ish% accurate, but they get the murderer wrong.
Yeah. And she looked so terrified. She did such a good. That was a hard scene to watch, y'all. Because I had fallen in love with that
knife
character.
though, dude. Like David, you do horror conventions all the time. You sell your badass art that people should buy from you. But you've seen
plug.
them, like the knives that have like the reflections of like Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers. Like the fact that she has her eyes like reflecting the knives have like those vibes to it.
And the gore, man. I mean, she is just covered in blood, and the sound.
Mhm.
I mean, I was devastated. I was like, no.
This is like Carrie in college.
Yeah.
Jump scare. This get anyone?
Oh,
yeah, 100%.
Fuck yes.
I'm sorry, it wasn't this one. It was the Double Dream one that got me the most, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
the
that
Double
one-
Dream one.
Yeah, I forgot to clip that.
American Werewolf in London dream.
Fuck this. Oh no, it paused.
I was right there with you, girl. I'm like, yeah.
Dude, honestly, I still feel worse for the bully in this scene somehow. Like, she about gets stabbed in the face.
That was close.
Nah, Jocasta had it coming. She should have hit her.
She's an awful person, but in this moment, she's absolutely winning this case.
And
Like-
she's also
She didn't even flinch. What
because
a
she's
badass.
coked up at the library, dude.
Yeah, she's coked
You're
up.
I
being
just
coked
like
up
how
at the
she
library?
asked for. She was like security. I'm like, what security guard is at a fucking library?
Someone tried to
They
stab
all
me in
got
the.
jobs there since they can't get
Hey,
into
bro,
the
it's
creepy bars.
London. Yeah.
I've
He
never
tried to
seen
stab me in the eye.
Got to protect those
All
books,
right,
David.
is your book laid or not?
And then the Benny Hill scene ensues.
She tried to take out my paper. She did.
Stamping
She
it
tried to
up.
blind me, isn't it?
Governor.
Not there. I knew all the girls.
He's awesome.
Like to think I looked after them. Had to keep them in order too, mind.
But this is a scene where I'm like, there's no scar on his face, so he can't be.
Sandy.
I was
she was
looking everywhere
special.
trying to make excuses too. I was
She
like, this
didn't
isn't
belong.
lining up.
I thought she was too good for it. But you know, at the end of the day, you all look the same on the slab.
That's so
When
creepy.
you see Alex in whatever little hell she's currently in, you tell her I said hello.
Yeah, he totally knew that she killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
100%. The truth, this scene's a little bit long, but I think that she's acting her ass off.
Like being an actress, I
Oh, we
suppose.
could have just played the movie.
Sorry, everybody.
You know what I just realized? I think Lindsay told me that's the lady from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, who plays the grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that till right now. Yeah, that's awesome. She was awesome in Game of Thrones too. She killed it.
Yep.
Being a whore
Oh,
is
it's not
a bit
Mrs.
like being an
Doubtfire?
actress, I suppose.
Hello.
You have to pretend you're someone else. Someone that's not you.
The movie's dedicated to
Try
her.
and
She
forget
passed
all
away
this.
shortly after.
That's
film.
right.
Her and the person who
All
played the
those
grandma.
men. Their faces.
Did you guys notice? Not Edgar Wright.
Blank them out.
Who's the big guy in the Edgar Wright
Had to.
movies? Nick Frost, I think is his name, and Shaun of the Dead, and
Oh, the heavyset guy?
Yeah, the heavy set guy.
Yeah,
He's
Nick
in
Frost.
this.
Was he in
plays
this?
Yeah, he plays one of the Johns.
No way.
Yeah. I think it actually shows
they
him
were
right about
nothing.
here. Let me see. Nope.
So yes, you could say Sandy died in that room. She died in that
Great
room
sound
100
design.
times.
Oh my god.
And then
I
one
had
night,
chills, bro.
the man who put me to work, the man who stole my dream.
There it is. It always makes you feel good, she is.
Oh man, I was losing my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first you're like, oh, hell yeah, this shit got him. And then, like, when it starts to turn, we're like, oh, but I'm going to kill you too. You're just like, fuck, I no longer support you as a human.
Well, that was the one thing too. Is like she poisoned her, right? But how did she? Did they ever?
She didn't drink that much tea.
Just take a sip, dude. She's not a fucking lightweight.
Oh, Lindsay's
David.
like, it wasn't that much poison.
that's kind of worrisome.
Just enough to give her the poops.
Look, what if she said that? I just gave you enough to give you the poops. Completely different movie.
No, but I thought the same thing. That's why I thought she died at the end, because I'm like, oh, she was poisoned. She's done for, you know. And then she was in that freaking building that was fire was rising, the smoke was rising. You know what I mean? So, Stairway to Hell. This is so cool looking. I know it's done with computer generated imagery, but it's just so badass.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Oh, so cool.
Slowest escape ever.
And then when she kicked her down the thing, I was like, yeah, get her. Kill her.
Okay, can I just say, I know you like these ghosts, but they give me a little bit of the Conjuring feel.
Yeah.
Like,
forget that.
and I just kind of like...
That ending of The Conjuring creeped me out so bad I could barely even watch it.
I would have liked less CGI in the ghosts for sure.
I like the
Yeah,
fact
they were-
that they're mirrored.
I like that they're blurred, but like I agree, they kind of go like a weird, like, I don't know. If they went any farther, they could have sold this at Spirit Halloween stores as a mask, but they didn't quite commit.
They probably do.
So a buddy of mine had a really fun idea for like Star Wars and shit, like with the prequels. He thought it would have been, obviously he wasn't serious, but he was just joking. He's like, this is the prequels, and they were from like, you know, a long time before the movies. I think like the special effects should reflect that. So like the lightsaber should be like, you know, red and blue, like broomsticks painted up. So it'd be funny if like going back into this old time, if like all the special effects looked like a Hammer movie. Like something from.
I'd be down for that.
You were the one who wanted this. More than anything, you said.
I hated that scene just because she did not look like she had just been slapped. Like she looked like she was just kind of like.
Well, I
like,
think that's the hint. Like she's seeing a vision, but like it doesn't really affect her. So I think that's
I don't know. It felt very like it felt off to me during the viewing of that, but. I'm not suggesting I want to see old women slapped on a regular basis.
I
But
know,
I feel
that's
like
kind
it
of
would
weird,
work better
Miles.
for this.
That's the.
That means a lot coming from you, David. I won't lie.
The hill you want to die on. If the old woman didn't look like she got slapped enough.
I'm saying if you're gonna make a movie, dude, like put it in stunt.
slap around the old one.
I've seen
Ding,
some
ding.
old stunt doubles who will take a smacking if it makes a better film.
Oh, so good. So
It's
good.
It's Boop the Snoot, dude.
Yep, it is Boop the Snoop.
Man, he said Boop the Snoot.
Everyone boops the snoot. All right, that was last night in Soho. I hopefully I got the name right. Time for recommendations. First one will be Existence, because if you've never seen it before, it's worth your time. It is not a great movie, I will say that, but it's a unique movie. It came out around the same time as The Matrix. I think it kind of got lost in the flow of The Matrix being such a blockbuster, and it deals with a computer in a dreamlike state. It's a David Cronenberg movie. Definitely worth seeing at least once in your lifetime. Probably never watch it again, unless you do a horror movie podcast, then maybe you'll get there eventually. But I think that the mystery of it is pretty cool, and how it ends is epic. So that'll be my first recommendation. Second recommendation will be Identity with John
Hell yeah.
Cusack.
Oh,
What
I
a
like this
great,
movie a
fun
lot,
movie.
dude.
Don't want to give away the twist ending, but if you've seen it, you know it deals with kind of similar ideas of this movie. What a great time. It's a brisk movie. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. There's a little bit of mystery, and it's just really badass. So
Great cast too.
Yeah. Oh, an amazing cast. Like, I think it's the last thing John Cusack ever did, to be honest with you. I don't know where this dude's been.
Did he get 1408 after this?
Maybe.
He's done a ton of movies since this movie came out 20 years ago.
Why haven't they
This
pulled him
movie
into
came out
Marvel?
20 years ago.
Yeah, like 2003. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while. All right, who's got a recommendation?
I got one.
Go ahead, Jay.
Well, I think this is a absolute perfect companion piece to this. It's probably even darker, and this is from 2016. This came from Nicholas Winding Wren, talking about the movie The Neon Demon. The plot's pretty much it's very similar. It's an aspiring model in Los Angeles whose beauty and youth generate intense fascination and jealousy within the fashion industry. So it literally is and the lighting is very similar. It's incredibly trippy. It's a very, very intense movie. Got Jenna Malone, Elle Fanning, Christina Hendricks, and even Keanu Reeves is in it. So that would be my recommendation.
Get a little Keanu Reeves. All right, who's next?
I already said earlier I was going to recommend Jojo Rabbit, which is not a horror movie, but man, is it a fun movie. It's a hard sell to convince people to watch because it's about like a little kid whose imaginary friend is Hitler.
Yeah. I'd love to see that pitch meeting.
Yeah, seriously, right? But like honestly, it's great. The lead actress in Last Night in Soho, like I said, plays a Jewish girl who essentially lives in house like under the like floorboards or in the walls or whatever. But it's like a dramedy. It's amazing. It's the Taika
Scarlett
Waititi.
Johansson, bro.
Yeah, Scarlett
So
Jo
good.
is incredible. Like her scene, there's a scene in particular where she plays both herself and her dead husband in the same scene. And when you see that scene, you'll know like that's the scene I feel like I'm like, I can't believe she didn't get nominated for that scene alone. The other recommendation I was going to go with is also 100% based off of just the actors that are in it. And that's The Queen's Gambit. Just
yes,
one of my favorite shows that came out on Netflix during the pandemic. It's the Anna Taylor-Joy is the lead character in that. Again, not a horror movie or not a horror series,
but so good.
But just based on the lead actresses in this alone, I wanted to make those two recommendations.
Yeah, she's high on lithium the whole time.
Yeah, for real, dude.
That's awesome.
I would like to recommend a movie Lindsay and I watched last night. Bodies.
Oh, snap.
I want to see that so bad, dude.
Is that on Shudder?
Funny, so funny.
Yeah, is that on?
Is that in theaters right now? Did
it's
you go
in
out?
theaters right now? Yeah.
It just came out.
It was basically us and like what, 2 other people.
There were eight total, including us. Yep.
Is that the movie's got the guy from SNL on it? I can't.
Yeah,
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name.
Yep.
And it was good.
It's so fun.
Is it kind of in the same vein as Idle Hands, like which we watched a couple weeks ago? Or
basically, it's a one location movie, and it's like a murder mystery.
Oh, cool! And you guys do murder mysteries all the time, and you still enjoyed it?
Yep.
Very nice.
It's got a fun twist too.
Right on.
Hell yeah,
Lindsay, what you got for your recommendation?
I don't know if y'all have watched this on here before, but because of Anya Taylor-Joy, Thoroughbreds.
Never even heard of it.
I just added that to my queue. I have not watched that yet, though.
Dude, so good.
Thoroughbreds is so good. It's like her and this other girl, and they're like awkward friends, and I really don't even know how to describe it. And murder somehow fits in there.
Really good.
But it's funny. It's funny and a thriller, and
it's based on a play, so it's also kind of like a one location movie, but it's done so well.
Yeah. And Raph, what's your pick?
Last Night in Soho.
Just watch it again.
Watch it again.
Watch it again. So I do want to recommend and my pick, this is gonna be my pick, is Steve Miner's 1986 House. Anybody seen it?
Oh yes, love it
multiple times.
William Catt, George Wendt, Kay Lance, and Richard Mole, and it's such a crazy movie. It's just like a funny horror movie.
Practical effects galore, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. With that said, that was Last Night in Soho, and that was our recommendation. Sorry, I can't even think right now. All right, Raph, where can they find you on the internet?
RFLSON. Thank you guys.
Right
on YouTube. Yeah,
liking those videos, give them a thumbs up, 100%.
Yes.
And then maybe Raph will give you a heart back, but he hasn't given my comment a heart back yet. So.
I did too.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Miles, where can they find you on the internet?
I'm everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off, and you can check out my Simpsons podcast at Best Darn Diddly. That's DIDDLY.
Hell yeah. Lindsay, where can they find you on the internet?
Facebook or Instagram if they know me and they're not going to be creepy or weirdly stalk me. Yeah, I'm not that cute and I'm not that nice, y'all.
And David, where can they find you on the internet?
Stop Motion Nightmares on Facebook, Children of Dave on Instagram, and I'll be hosting the Tim Burton Burlesque Show October 1st at Vivo's.
Word? Tim Burton Burlesque Show?
Yep.
Yeah.
No offense, Lindsay, but we do refer to David as both the cute and the nice one.
Oh wait, but for real, Stomping Ground Comedy Theater this weekend.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
And we're doing a crime night the first Saturday of every month. So
awesome!
Yeah.
I love Stomping Grounds. They're awesome. I love what they do.
They do that crime night thing, y'all, is really good. It's a improvised murder mystery show.
Oh, that's
it's
all females. It's called Femme Fatale.
It's actually 2 shows back to back. There's a short form game-based crime themed show, and then an improvised crime procedural, which is our Funny Femme Fatale all female group.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, Stomping Grounds is killing it 100%. Jay, are you gonna bring back your Ego Phoenix Fearcast for October?
I doubt it, man. I'm too busy. I mean, we're just,
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, Jay.
A lot.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's gone the way of the dodo, but still want to keep the cast going.
Hell yeah. We're almost at 100 episodes, y'all. So you can find us at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. Check out me and David Jessup's podcast. We just did the Act Out.
Yes.
It was a great conversation.
Great one.
It was very cool. Learned a lot about David. It was awesome.
Maybe
you can check
too
us
much.
Check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at /WeArePodcast. And of course, you can find us every Monday for Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live on Twitch at 8 p.m. Central. Next week will be, God, I don't know. I should always check this, but I'm an idiot.
It was mine, wasn't it? I just said it.
I think so.
Humpty Dumpty, the curse of it.
Fuck everybody's week up.
Raph, no, it is your pick, but you haven't picked anything yet. That's
I just said 1986, Steve Miner's House.
I'm excited.
Awesome pick.
Okay, that's
Love that pick.
I was sitting there wondering why I didn't have anything in my head, and I was like, "Oh, he hasn't picked anything yet." So.
Yeah, because I'm a dick. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Dude, don't say that. We won't ever start our ghost hunting squad if you keep that.
I want to do that so bad.
It's got to happen. I got to make sure
we could probably do it.
Team Purple, baby. Team Purple.
Yeah.
You better know. All right, y'all, keep horror in your heart. 100% keep it in your heart. Thank you so much for watching today, Lindsay. Thank you for joining us. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Great movie. Great movie. And with that said, I'm going to cut the feed. How do I
check out this movie? It's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Right.
And there is no nudity, so that means a lot.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.